when the world is bearing unbearable pain. My soul remembers your love, shimmering over us, a rainbow rising after the rain. Whether at war or at peace, awake or asleep, whether I'm walking the streets or diving the ocean deep, if I'm alone or in a crowd, feeling humble or proud, silently sulking about or laughing out loud, whether I'm right or I'm wrong, standing timid or strong, wherever on earth I belong. And when my last breath is gone, whatever I do, whatever I seek, safe in your arms I'll be. Oh, my soul remembers. Oh.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to simply ask that we do our welcome together. I will do it as a call and response. Welcome to unity. Welcome to unity. Where love is felt. Where love is felt. Truth is taught. Truth is taught. Lives are transformed. Lives are transformed. And all is well. And all is well. As we express. As we express. The Christ within. The Christ within. Amen. Thank you, Lord. Are we online? We're going to have an opening song. And I think that you guys got the song sheet with the words. So, love is my decision. We do it a lot, but we don't always have all the words in front of us. So, that means y'all can sing along with it all the way through. Got mine. You guys at home, you can look up the lyrics on your phone. Love is my decision by Daniel Nahmon. He was passing them out. Yeah, I'm talking about the people at home. No, but there are people in the audience as well. Well, let's all stand up and get warmed up and sing this great song. Up to me, dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love right, good job. Thank you, Kathy. That was awesome. And I was very grateful to have the lyrics with us, or it allowed me to remember it. I do know this song and love it. So, because we're now online, I say, good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome. And welcome to Unity of Florida. Today is the first Sunday of a new month, February. And it is the first Sunday we are in our newly, partially repainted sanctuary. So please know that all of the walls up to where you see the mauve ceiling here have been done. And they're going to come back, and actually we got the support to paint the mauve ceiling as well. So there's more to do, but we are really grateful. And this is being done lovingly by one of our congregants and a former president of the board, Jane Roy. And we all lovingly call her Weed. Of course, she had support. She had other help. So let's just take a moment and honor this long prayed for accomplishment. If you have no idea, all these chairs were gone. This place was completely torn up because I was here. It started Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. They've done an amazing job. And if you are participating in person or virtually, please know that we are delighted that you have chosen to be with us this morning, and we acknowledge you and welcome you. For every service, there have to be many volunteers who have offered their time and talent in order that we can be here with our friends and family and just be uplifted by the music and message. Today, Dee Mitchell is our prayer partner. Kathy DeWitt is our able musician. Our stream team is Alejandro, and I, Rupali Robinson, am the Sunday service leader this morning. And as you can see, we are blessed to have licensed Unity teacher Carla Palmer, who is also an ordained interfaith minister with a very unique professional background, which you can look up on the web. Today's theme, and the theme of February, is love. And so Carla's message goes right to the heart of the matter, which is also her title. Speaking of love and letting our hearts be free. So, Miss Carla, would you please open us up with prayer?
I'd be happy to. Can everybody hear me okay? And am I on? All right, good. Let's just take a breath and kind of look around the room and just take in the energy. My heart and my mind are open to you. And if you would, just allow my words to be those of your own heart. As we just breathe in, breathing love into all the cosmos, all of it, allowing that heart chakra area to just expand. Feel it in the body. I am ready to be the love that the world needs now. Ooh. Let's say that together. I am ready to be the love that the world needs now. I am love. I'm open and receptive to my highest good. I have been created to love myself and others. Our affirmation for the month. I have been created to love myself and others. And so let's say that together. I have been created to love myself and to others. I'm dedicated to be the living presence of the Holy One. For there is only one presence and one power in all of the universes and in my life. God the good, always present. Presence itself. And as I breathe in, I breathe in and breathe out gratitude for all of the spirit guides, all of those who have touched my life with love and beauty and encouragement. And I take a moment to remember their faces, those who have encouraged all through the whole life stream of this one. And so take this moment to see the people who have encouraged you. And if you feel like it, just say their first name out loud. Brookie. Allow those names to just come forward in this mighty power of gratitude. My teachers. Oceana. God the good, all presence, all power, all knowledge, all love. And with the power and the authority of the Christ presence that abides within me and in all beings, I say, and so it is, and so it shall ever be. Amen.
And now is the time for both acknowledgement and announcements. Again, I do wish to express heartfelt gratitude for all those who came together in just 3 days of this week to transform our sanctuary. It already feels so clean and calming. And I want to acknowledge that this is what abundance looks like in motion. And that is because of the good of this congregation. So we are so thankful. Just take a moment to think about last week. Last Sunday, we were blessed to have the LUT Hank Lewis here. And if you just attended either his service or his diversity, equity, inclusion workshop, would you please just raise your hand? And I want you to know, look at this, and out on the ethers he was broadcast. So please know that if you missed it, it's well worth doing. I've actually looked at it a second time already, viewing it online, and got even more from it. Ably and, I would say, delightfully, superbly presented. Announcements, first for fun and fundraising. We are having a bake sale. It is a Valentine's Day bake sale, and it is being put together for February 12th. So we will need volunteers, bakers, and hands-on support for setting up, pricing, cashiering, and cleaning up. If you need contact information, please see here in person today. I see both of them. Kat is here and Laurie Mills is here. Kat, put your hand up. And Lori Mills is board member on duty today. She is helping because we needed someone available. She is actually also going to be the one that has all of the contact information on the website. So please know that, just get all your details about that from them or from the website or the weekly newsletter. Now, for the good of the order, we are having the annual congregational meeting. It is again this month, February 26th, the last Sunday. February 26th, the last Sunday after service. And it is the time where the new board candidates are presented and voted on. It's the time where we propose the 2023 budget to accept it. It's the time where we select the new ballot committee members for the next year. It's a wonderful time to participate also and add your vote and voice to the visioning of this ministry. So please look at your mail, if you do it by snail mail, or your email, because you will be mailed documents this week. Finally, February 22nd is the beginning of the season of Lent. Unity Worldwide booklets. Barbara, I think I saw you come in. Are they available at this time?
Oh, it's great.
Okay.
I don't know whether Gio was instructed to get some,
Okay.
and they're sitting somewhere. I don't know.
All right, so the person that I asked is the person who helps assist us with the bookstore, and Barbara is suggesting that she has not yet had them delivered to the bookstore. You can do that online as well to order it, and it's called 40 Days of Letting Go. These booklets support our intention to be prepared for Easter by feasting on what we want to increase and fasting on what we wish to decrease or release completely. And then I would just like to say, please note that although the focus commercially is on Valentine's Day, importantly, it is also the month for celebrating the milestones and contributions of Black history. So please look at unity.org for programming honoring the Black leaders in the Unity movement. It is aptly named On the Shoulders of Greatness. And now I'd like to ask Kat, and that is how she prefers to be called, to come up and read the daily word.
The daily word for Sunday, February 5th, 2023 is healing.
Closer to your mouth.
The affirmation for
There.
today is, my faith is making me well. The scripture for today is from Mark 5:34. He said to her, daughter, your faith has made you well. Go in peace and be healed of your disease. Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore's healing journey began when she changed her mind. Inspired by the words of a healing practitioner, she took this affirmation to heart. I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness. After 2 years of persistent health-affirming meditation, prayer, and practice, Myrtle was healed. Her faith made her well. Myrtle Fillmore lived joyously and vigorously for many years. I take inspiration from this story. I, too, am a living expression of God. I feel my body's quickening response as I claim my inheritance of divine life, vibrantly active in every cell of my body. Good nutrition, exercise, and rest support my healing practice. And if you would just repeat the affirmation with me. My faith is making me well. Thank you.
My faith is making me well.
Well, after Carla's opening prayer, I decided I would change the order of the songs I was going to do. And this one is written by Burt Bacharach and Hal David. And if you feel free to sing along with the chorus, I know that pretty much everyone knows that. Kind of goes along with what you were saying about the affirmation that we are the love that the world needs now. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you want to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, oh, but just for everyone. What the world needs now is love. What the world needs now is love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Thank you, Kathy. You know, I really love working with creative people. It's just such a joy, and on the fly to change the music like that. Thank you so much. And Kat, thank you for reading that and reminding me. This past, I can't go too far away because otherwise. Buzz. This week, there was a 2-day meeting of Unity Worldwide Ministries that I attended, and one of the reports just like was so exciting that they are having more and more and more people contact them for spiritual content and for prayer and everything. And so Jim Blake, who is the home office, head of the home office, he said they have over 86,000 requests last year, and it's pretty regular every year, and so and that's like silent unity where you can call for prayer, and and then you can also, and they're the ones that also supply the Lenten books and all that. So, and the Christmas books for Advent and everything. And they also are thinking about writing new books and new things because people are coming to them um, and for those online, this is very interesting too, because just Google unity.org, and you will be able to find all kinds of books, spiritual books and everything. And one of the things that he kind of was saying it in a joking way, but then later he referred to it again. And I think they might be serious, but I think they're going to work on a tarot deck, a unity tarot deck. And I was like, far out, that sounded so great. So that's a plug for Unity, and it's growing, and it's trying to meet these needs of what the world needs now spiritually. So now to my lesson for you, and we call this a lesson because Myrtle and Charles, Myrtle was a teacher, and Kat mentioned her, and in the reading, and so Myrtle called, instead of calling them sermons, called them lessons. And I remember somebody said, are you going to preach? And I would say, no, I'm going to give a lesson. So that's why, that's how this came about. But the heart of the matter, the words came to me last week, or maybe the week before, I don't remember, but the heart of the matter. And it remind me, I think, Kathy, it's an Eagles song, Get Down to the Heart of the Matter. And forgive me if I made the wrong identification, but anyway, so yesterday at lunch, I turned to Jim Palmer, my husband, and I said, what does the heart of the matter, that thing, just that phrase, the heart of the matter, what does that do? What does that give you? What does that say to you? And he thought about it for a moment, and he said, well, if somebody's having a problem, you usually can boil it down to one thing. And then he says, you can also think about, boiling anything down to one word. And I looked at him and I said, in essence, what you're talking about is what you're talking about, the essence of that. He said, yeah, that's the word, that's the essence of it. And so it sent me, here it is, it's yesterday, Saturday at noon, it sent me on a whole new way to rewrite my lesson because of his insight of its being, the heart of the matter is the essence of it. And we've heard things like, take heart. What does that mean? You've also heard, your heart has been broken. And what's the essence of that? And a heavy heart. I have a heavy heart. What does that mean? So we the heart of the matter. But then we realize that there is only one good, one great good, God the good. And therefore, we are essentially good because everything is God. And isn't that what Hank told us last week? There is only God. And so, building onto that, then we are made up of God. And so the heart of the universe is God, the essence of the universe. God is not, this is a quote that I found, God is not an offended monarch on a throne throwing down thunderbolts, like that, but a fountain fullness that flows, overflows, fills all things in one exclusively positive direction. So it's like a faucet that's always running. It's like, anybody, have you ever drunk from a spring, a natural spring, drunk water from it? Where I grew up, I was near Yellow Springs, Ohio. And we went to the Yellow Spring, several times a year. And we just hold our mouth open, under the beautiful water. So good. So in German, in the German language, the word for a gushing fountain or a gushing spring or a free-flowing spring is God. Gott. G-O-T. Gott. So that gives us an idea that the source from which the river of all reality flows, the real reality, is spiritual. Generously flowing all of creation with love. These words are only metaphors where they describe the undescribable. Remember the Buddhist story about the little guy pointing his finger to the moon. And so what happened? Everybody started thinking that the finger that's pointing was God. But it was not. It's like the finger pointing to the moon is the only way we can do it. We can't really fully describe and see spirit yet. I'm saying yet. So then I thought of other things that had heart in it, and it reminded me we have this here, the Heartwood Soundstage, in Gainesville. And I've never been there. I don't know what it's like or anything like that, but I like the name Heartwood. What does that mean? Heartwood. What is it? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's the center of the tree. It's where the hardest wood is. It's the strength that the tree needs to stand. And so isn't that heart? And as I worked on this during the week, I kept coming back to heart is where we get our strength. It's not our muscles. It's not our, how much we can lift or carry. It's strength within, and we can carry all kinds of things from the heart. It's also faith. And my little kind of silly definition of faith, and it's not as silly as you think, but it's faith is not that everything will turn out okay. Faith is I'm okay no matter how things turn out. You see the difference? I'm okay. No matter what happens, I'm okay. The I am that I am. The Christ within, my true identity, my true reality. So getting back to the heart of the matter on a spiritual level, and somebody called this one day the metaphysical church, but so many churches and so many new thought, let's put it that way, new thought, centers for spiritual living and unity. We do not look at the Bible literally, but we look at Scripture metaphysically. Getting the essence of it. Thank you so much, Jim. Getting the essence of the heart. Your essence is love, because God is love. And I want to tell you this story about myself that happened many years ago. Many years ago. I used to walk every day. I lived in Orlando, and I'd walk up this road, and at the intersection and across from that intersection was a lake, a big lake, Lake Underhill, and so I would leave the house. I would walk halfway around Lake Underhill because you couldn't get on the other side because of roads and all. And then I turned around and would walk back. And I really wanted to know what God is. And so as I walked, I would just pray, God, show me, what are you? What are you? I just can't get a hold of it. I was just, and so I did this. And by the way, I was also teaching at the University of Central Florida at the time. And so a lot of times I didn't have a class until later in the day, so I didn't have to be there, like 8 to 5 and stuff. But anyway, I would walk and pray. I want to know what God is. I have to know. I want to know. And so one day, they were as I'm walking up this road, on the left-hand side of it, across the street, they were starting to build these big luxury apartments. And I was kind of bummed out about that, because there was a woods there, and it was so cool to kind of cut through the woods, as on my walk. And so anyway, that was happening. And so this one particular day I was walking, I had the urge to to cross the street. And so I did, and I crossed the street, and there was a new sidewalk that had been put in, because they had to put in, if you're going to do construction and, build things, you have to have the sidewalks in. And so I walked over, and just as I was ready to step on, because the sidewalk ended, in the grass, and I looked down, and somebody had taken a stick and had carved into cement, God is love. That was my answer. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the guides and the spiritual energy it took to get me to cross that street and see the answer to my question? God is love. Love is God. It was just amazing. And to think to think of that is just preposterous, because think of what it took. Get her across the street. But before that, and it was already dry, and the concrete was hard, somebody maybe a day or two ahead of that had scratched that out. And so that was an emissary, and all. So all of the coordination it took for me to get that God was love. So I will never forget that. And all the world's great religions talk about love. It's not just Christianity that does. I was thinking, my Indian teacher, she always talked about love too, and so even in the Native American spirituality, love is right up there as the most important thing. And she used to say that love is the glue that holds everything together. Then when I started Unity, going to classes at Unity Village, and they were talking about love as like the glue that held everything together. And I have a feeling that she had read Fillmore, because when I first began coming to Unity churches, so much of the teachings were like what the Fillmores taught at the beginning. So it's just everything is in cycling. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is like the flip side of the coin. Love gives you what you're thinking about. Love is like a glue, like I said. And so you're attracted, or something is attracting you, and so love gets in there and makes sure that you make the contact. Let's do this. And so remember that what you're thinking about a lot, like I was thinking about, God, I want to know what you are. I want to know. I want to know. And it's so much different now as we evolve and mature spiritually, our concept of what God is. But love gives us what we're thinking about. It brings us together with that. So be careful what you think about. You know, there's that old expression, be careful what you wish for, you just might get it. That's the law of attraction. And so this is what love does. It pulls us and pulls us. A lot of times we say, look what I manifested. You know, this is back in the 80s for me. I don't know about for you guys. But manifesting was the big deal. You had to manifest. All green lights on the way to work or something like that. You did it, you know. You did not do it. Love did it. Love did it. You didn't. Love does it. And, you know, Daniel Nahmad's song was going through my head when I was working on this. And the line is, God will show me how. But in my mind, all week long, it was love. How can love show me how? And so that was another thing that was in my consciousness. And so I had, how can love show me how? And the answer that I give to it is just ask. Just ask it. Show me how. I need a little help. I need to be shown the way. Just see what happens. It's not like you have to do this, but all of New Thought was spawned out of a religious science concept. And so we don't tell you what to do. We just ask you to try it and see what happens. That's the scientific approach. That's how scientists do things. It's how they discover. And then listening to the heart. What does your heart say? I used to hear that. Well, go with your heart. I go, what? What does that mean? You know, I never knew. But learn to listen to it, practice. So now I actually feel an energy around my heart. And I don't know if you guys do or not, but there's this energy that I never knew before. So I thought, well, why don't I go to Rumi? Rumi always, you know, would write these poems. And so yesterday I told Kathy, I said, I'm rewriting my whole talk, and this is part of it. So Rumi said, there is a candle in the heart of every human waiting to be kindled, just like this candle down here. In separation from the friend, and he's calling the divine the friend, in separation from the friend, there is a cut waiting to be stitched. Oh, you who are ignorant of endurance and the burning fire of love. Love comes of its own free will. It can't be learned in any school. Isn't that true? So I was trying to learn love when I was in graduate school. People would say, what's your heart say? I don't know. You know, that guy, trying to get that. And when we are feeling separate from God, what's that feeling? Oh, God has forgotten all about me, right? I don't know what happened. I can't, you know. It's because we have become separate. God is always there. Always. Love is always there. I'm reminded of when Rumi says you can't go to school to learn about love. there was this research that was done several years ago about infants that when they are held and you look at them, and have y'all heard about this? That when you look at them, your eyes into their eyes, when you just gaze into the eyes of a baby, that there is a neurochemical reaction to that in the child. And they say that is why that babies should be held, and you know, it's hard not to look into the eyes of a baby. Have you ever noticed? We are hardwired to do that, because that is how that sets out the chemical whatever reactions that have to happen that teaches that baby to love. That's what it is. It's that connection, eye to eye, looking into the eyes. I just think that's amazing. So you can be a bodhisattva of love, just like that person that scratched the words, God is love. He or she was a bodhisattva of love. And then bodhi means being or essence, and sattva means the essence, excuse me, bodhi means pure knowledge. All right, so that's know without any, emotional about it. And then sattva is being or essence. And so a bodhisattva is one who knows a mature spiritual life and is the essence of the heart. Just like that person, bodhisattva. So we can be a bodhisattva of love. We definitely can. Here's another Rumi poem. The minute I heard my first love story, I started looking for you, not knowing how blind that was. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They are in each other all along. They're in each other all along. So it's interesting how around Valentine's Day, what you see, great big hearts, and heart candy and all. And so here's another. This is the one that's important too. Another Rumi. One went to the door of the beloved and knocked. A voice asked, "Who is there?" He answered, "It is I." The voice said, "There's no room here for me and thee." And the door was shut. After a year of prayer and meditation, this man returned to the door of the beloved. He knocked. A voice from within asked, "Who's there?" The man said, "It is you." The door was opened for him. "It is thou," he said, "thou. It is thou." The door was opened for him. There is only God. There is only God. Whenever we think that we did it, it's the small self. So when archaeologists try to unearth something, what do? Do they have a big backhoe and they run and pull this stuff up out of the ground? No. What do? They get down on their hands and knees and they have this little brush and they keep brushing away the sand and the soil and everything until they can get it all, unearthed in place like that. They take such detail, and our soul is like that. This is what's happening to us on our journey. The archaeologists painstakingly bringing us up to the light, bringing the light to us, the light of truth. Speaking of which, the truth has no agenda. Just let that sink in. Truth has no agenda. It just sits out there in the field. I'm truth. I don't need to prove my point. I don't need to, it has no reason for being, in other words. Because sometimes we have an agenda, don't we? We help somebody so that we think they would help us back, or, just different, or we want things to go the way we want to in a family or in a boardroom or at work and everything. So, truth is vibratory. It actually vibrates. It just sits around. Truth just sits around vibrating. And it hums, because vibration, right, can have a sound, but we can't hear it very well sometimes. So think about that. Truth has no agenda. I think I'll close now. Because we need to be honest with ourselves, about ourselves, and then to love ourselves unconditionally, to love ourselves fiercely. Fiercely is when we have to tell the truth. And how many of you have said, do I look fat in this? Do I look fat in this dress? And so when I heard this comedian one day, and he said, if your wife or your girlfriend asks you, do I look fat in this, feign a heart attack. so you don't have to, so you don't have to answer. But truth is important, so we call that fierce love. Just like the last time I spoke, we talked about fierce grace. So being honest with ourselves is called self-awareness, isn't it? Being honest with ourselves. And so the last roomie, and then I'll close with that. When your chest is free of your limiting ego, then you will see the ageless beloved. You cannot see yourself without a mirror, right? Look at the beloved. It is the brightest mirror of all. Okay. And that's it. So I say amen to that lesson. And now we will get ourselves prepared for taking that lesson in deeper. And I would say that if any of you would like to discuss whatever was said a little deeper, I'll sit up here on the step and we can talk later if you would like to. Last week, some folks wanted to talk a little bit more and go a little deeper, and so I'll just stay here for half hour. That's it. But if you care to do that, okay. So meditation. You ready? And a lot of times we close our eyes. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But the important thing is to relax. So we breathe in, breathe out, and just let go of the body temple. Just relax it. And with your power of imagination, imagine that you have luminous roots going down, down, down into the earth. Down, down, down. And you may have the imaginal feeling of it's warmer down there than it is up here. It's warmer in the soil. So now you have these luminous roots that hold you up. The voice of truth brings the love of my heart out into the open. Breathe that in. The voice of truth brings the love of my heart out into the open. Feel the heart chakra area. Feel it expanding with its warmth, going over to the shoulders, down to the hands. And allow the words that I use be those of your own heart if you can. And just allow this knowledge. I am the heart of the universes. I am the heart of the universes. I am love. I am good. I am made by the God of the 10,000 names, all of them meaning love. I am love. And using my power of imagination, I visualize an envelope in my hands. I open the envelope and see that there is a message on a big red paper Valentine heart. This message are words of encouragement meant just for me. I read these words over and over to commit them to memory. I allow these words to be an encouragement to others too. I am whole and holy. And I see that everything is holy now. Everything glows as holy. And so I take a breath in deep gratitude for this message, for this Valentine from love, from God, from the free-flowing spring, from holy water, that when I drink of it, I will never thirst again. Gratitude fills my heart with joy. And so it is. Take a breath, nice breath, and when you're ready, open your eyes, come back to the room. Amen. Okay.
Oh, wow, there were so many things. I just wanted that conversation to keep going. And then she said it could. And it was so interesting because while she was talking, I was thinking about, sometimes I give a talk at the Unitarian Church, Unitarian Fellowships, one down in Citrus County.
And one thing they do that I think was really cool is that at the end of the talk, at the end of the whole service, you people go out, have some refreshments, have a little fellowship, and then if they want to, they come back in to the sanctuary and have a question and answer with the speaker, which I thought was a pretty cool idea. And then Carla just said it. Let's do that. So, yeah, so
I
many
read your
things.
mind.
Preach or teach, you know. So many things about that message that I loved. One thing I wanted to tell you was that Heartwood Soundstage is created by a group of people, including Hout Shitama, whose business is Akira Wood, and he makes like incredible furniture out of the most beautiful wood that you could even ever get. That's his thing, and thus the name. And our friend is playing there tonight. My husband's playing with our friend, this bass player, our dear friend. He played bass on all my albums, The Traveler, and my jazz albums, and he's doing a whole show of his own original music. But this song is one of my favorites, by Peter Mayer. And to me, it's really the anthem of the difference between spirituality and religion, like what Carla was talking about, as they were taking place at the Unity Meeting. When I was a child, each week Sunday we would go to church, pay attention to the priest. He would read the holy word, consecrate the holy bread. Everyone would kneel and bow. Today the only difference is everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. When I was in Sunday school, we would learn about the time Moses split the sea in two. Jesus made the water wine. I remember feeling sad that miracles don't happen still. But now I can't keep track, 'cause everything's a miracle. Everything, everything, everything's a miracle. Wine from water is not so small, but an even better magic trick is that anything is here at all. So the challenging thing becomes not to look for miracles, finding where there isn't one. When holy water was rare at best, barely wet my fingertips, now I have to hold my breath like I'm swimming in a sea of it. Used to be a world half there, heaven's second-rate hand-me-down, but I walk it with a reverent air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Read a questioning child's face, say it's not a testament. Well, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning come and say it's not a sacrament. I'll tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood, saw a little red-winged bird, shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out, how things have changed since then. Yeah, everything is holy now. Everything is holy now. Sing along. Everything is holy now. 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 the mayor.
Everything is holy now. And in this holy now is the time of offertory, a time of giving back for all that we have received, knowing it is ours to receive even more abundantly. Mark 11:24. I've always loved it. It's always resonated. Whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it will be yours. Today's sermon lesson, I love that. Myrtle changing it to lesson is so clear. She asked in prayer for healing. She knew it was hers, and she knew even more abundantly she would be healed, and so it was. Right now, with prayerful intention, please take if you have it in your hand, just put it on your heart, and we will just simply hold that gift and say lovingly, divine love, expressing in me,
expressed in me,
through me,
as me,
blesses and multiplies
blesses and multiplies
all that I have,
all that I have,
all that I
all
give.
that I give.
Okay, we have our online group today coming
All right, good.
Well, I'm not quite sure where they are, but
Oh,
I've been having a fun time with Allie. Blake has been coming and going, the little boy, but Allie has been working on a word search, and today I started reading a book about our magical energy points on our bodies, and it's called tapping, if you're familiar with tapping, or EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. And Allie started doing it with me. I didn't ask her to, she just got into it. And I have a bear that has his tapping points on him. And so that's what we're going to be doing the next few weeks, is finding out how we can get rid of the yuckies, as it says in the book.
By the way, Carla was talking about seeing all the big hearts and things around and everything, and you really should take a moment to step into Miss Gwen's room. It's just beautifully decorated. And that's what she's amazing. I'm telling you, I've said this before, anybody that doesn't send their kids here to her is so missing out. She is just a treasure.
And so I think we still need to recognize that we are the child as well. And so even as we sing this song, think of ourselves and everyone here included.
children, we love you. We bless you. We appreciate you.
And
And we see you doing wondrous things.
Love you.
We love you. We really, really love you.
Rise, and we will sing the peace song and then speak the prayer of protection.
All right.
If you want to stand where you are, or if you want to move into a circle, you may do whatever you are feeling moved to do.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Please remember that Carla mentioned she'd just be available if you wish.